Everything seems to be falling into place at just the right time for the New York Yankees. After a turbulent stretch of injuries, lineup experiments, and a seemingly endless rotation at third base, the Yankees might finally have found a real, tangible solution to one of their biggest headaches this season. And the timing couldn't be better. With expectations riding high and the team already outperforming what most people projected at the start of the year, this move, or at least the possibility of it, could be the missing piece that solidifies the Yankees' infield. Let's not forget where the Yankees stood just a short while ago. The third base situation was anything but stable. At the beginning of the season, the position was up for grabs, with Oswaldo Cabrera, DJ LeMahieu, and Oswald Peraza all in the mix. LeMahieu ended up sidelined early on with a calf injury. Peraza couldn't capitalize on his chance at the plate, and although Cabrera was holding his own and looked like the most consistent option, he's now out for the season after suffering a serious ankle injury. That left the Yankees scrambling once again. But here's where things get interesting. The return of DJ LeMahieu brings some stability back to the infield. And if all goes well with Jazz Chisholm's recovery, there's a decent chance DJ could start seeing consistent reps at third base. It's not an ideal solution, especially when you consider how important LeMahieu's versatility is to the Yankees' defensive setup. But it's a short-term fix that at least gives the team some breathing room. However, the bigger story, and a more exciting possibility, is what's happening on the trade front. Once again, Brian Cashman is active, and although he doesn't pull off headline-grabbing trades every season, he's always in the mix. We saw what happened in 2023 when expectations were sky high and the Yankees missed the playoffs with an 82-80 record. That season felt like a low point, especially for a franchise used to competing deep into October. Cashman made a minimal move that year, adding a relief pitcher whose name barely stuck with fans because the trade was just so underwhelming. It felt like a missed opportunity to spark a late push. But now, it's a whole different vibe. Aaron, Judge is healthy again, the offense is clicking more often than not, and the team looks way more balanced. And now, with the market heating up, there's a real chance for the Yankees to take advantage of a unique opportunity, buying low on Alec. Boom! Now this is where things get really compelling. Bohm, currently the third baseman for Philadelphia, has been floating in trade speculation for quite some time. Despite a solid track record and some promising flashes, his name continues to be tossed around, mostly because his contract situation opens the door for a potential move. He's set to become a free agent after the 2026 season, and with several core players on the Phillies also approaching free agency soon, Bohm might not be a priority for their long-term plans. For the Yankees, this is exactly the kind of opportunity you want if you're trying to patch a hole in the roster without mortgaging the future. Bohm is talented. He's not having a great season so far. We're talking about a negative .5 WAR, a batting average below his usual 260, and an OPS stuck around 663. But that might actually play in the Yankees' favor. It means his trade value isn't sky high. And more importantly, he fills a very specific need, a right-handed third baseman who can hold down the position and contribute both offensively and defensively. There's a proposed trade out there that's been gaining traction, one that sends Bohm to New York in exchange for reliever Ian Hamilton, outfield prospect Everson Pereira, and right-handed pitching prospect Carlos Lagrange. And if that deal actually materializes, it could end up being a win-win for both sides. Let's break it down a bit more. Ian Hamilton is a serviceable reliever. In his 13 2/3 innings this season, he struck out 19 batters and posted a decent whip. But he's also been giving up runs and hasn't been the most reliable option in high leverage situations. With Jonathan Loaisiga back in arms like Luke Weaver, Jay Cousins, and even Dionysius Williams waiting in the wings, Hamilton becomes expendable. Especially when you factor in that Marcus Stroman might end up shifting to a bullpen role depending on how the rotation shakes out. Stroman's style, that mix of breaking balls and command, could work really well in shorter stints, which would allow him to get through a lineup once and be done. It's not a bad backup plan. As for the prospects involved, Pereira has some tools, no doubt. In AAA, he's posted a .917 OPS with 9 home runs and a strong on-base percentage. But in the majors, he hasn't impressed in his limited opportunities. With the Yankees already overflowing with outfield talent and depth, there just isn't a clear path forward for him in New York. It makes sense to include him in a trade, especially if it means addressing a more urgent need. Carlos Lagrange is a bit of a dark horse in this deal. He's not someone who's been in the spotlight much, but he's having a solid season in the minors. His ERA is down to 3.45, and he's got 50 strikeouts in just over 31 innings pitched. He throws hard. Where? Talking triple-digit fastballs, and has been used mostly as a starter. There's upside here, no question. But again, with the Yankees stockpiling pitching talent, Lagrange might not have a clear shot at the big leagues anytime soon. His value lies in what he might become for a team with a bit more room to experiment. And then there's Bohm. While the raw numbers might not leap off the page right now, there's a lot to like about his game. He's a plus defender, has shown flashes of solid offensive production in the past, and perhaps most importantly, offers right-handed power at a position the Yankees desperately need to lock down. We've talked before about how the Yankees have addressed their left-handed hitting woes, especially after the horror show that was 2023. But now they've got a new challenge, finding a right-handed bat who can balance things out. Bohm could be that guy. From the Phillies' perspective, it's a move that brings in pitching depth, a potential outfield contributor, and a reliever who can step in immediately. For the Yankees, it's a chance to take a calculated risk on a player with upside who fills a key position, and to do it without giving up any of their top-tier untouchable prospects. Sometimes the best trades aren't the flashy ones. They're the deals where both teams get exactly what they need without overpaying or sacrificing too much. This feels like one of those scenarios. Alec Bohm might not be lighting up the box score right now, but a change of scenery, especially to a team like the Yankees, could be just what he needs to tap into his full potential. And for New York, this could be the kind of mid-season adjustment that keeps the momentum going and makes a real difference down the stretch. The beauty of a move like this is that it doesn't just fill a need, it redefines a part of the team that has felt like a question mark for too long. Third base has been the one area where you could feel the discomfort creeping in. Every time the lineup was released, there was this underlying feeling of who's playing third today, and more importantly, can they deliver? That inconsistency can weigh on a team. Even if the players are professionals and ready to step up, the constant shifting doesn't help anyone settle into a rhythm. What Bohm brings, even at his current level, is a degree of certainty. You know he's going to be penciled into that lineup most nights. And you know what kind of glove you're getting at the hot corner. And sure, Bohm's offensive numbers aren't where he or anyone else wants them to be right now. But it's also important to take a step back and look at the kind of environment he's been in. The Phillies lineup is packed with talent, and there's pressure to perform every single day. Sometimes a guy just needs a new uniform, a new dugout, and a little reset to get back on track. New York is a pressure cooker too, no doubt. But it's a different kind of pressure when you're joining a team that actively wants you and is handing you a role tailor-made for your skill set. He's not being asked to be the savior. He's being asked to play clean defense, drive in runs when the opportunity's there, and add balance to a lineup that already has firepower. And that's the underrated part of this deal, the timing. The Yankees are in a good spot right now, but we all know how quickly things can change in baseball. A team that looks dominant in May can suddenly hit a wall in July. The goal is to make sure you're not just reacting to problems after they spiral. You're anticipating needs and addressing them before they become serious liabilities. Bohm is exactly that kind of proactive acquisition. He isn't a splashy name, but he's a stabilizer. He gives you something that's been missing, and he does it without disrupting what's already working. Also, don't underestimate what this move does for the rest of the roster. Giving DJ LeMahieu more flexibility instead of locking him into third every day is huge. He's too valuable defensively and too smart of a hitter to limit his usage. Whether he's filling in at first, second, or even DHing to stay fresh, that versatility is key to navigating the long grind of the regular season. And if LeMahieu starts to hit like the guy we've seen in the past, getting him more at-bats becomes even more important. Then there's the domino effect it has on the bullpen. By dealing Ian Hamilton, the Yankees actually clear a bit of the congestion in their relief corps. As mentioned earlier, Loaiziga is back, and arms like Weaver and Cousins are waiting in the wings. Stroman might end up in a shorter role down the line too. So letting Hamilton go isn't a loss so much as it is a logical adjustment. You're dealing from a position of depth to address a position of need. That's smart front office work. And let's be honest, Cashman's been under a lot of heat from fans the past couple of years. Moves like this, calculated, targeted, and team-specific, are the kind that can really turn that narrative around. Now, looking ahead, if Bohm comes in and performs even at league average levels, this deal is already a win. If he finds his groove and starts hitting like the guy who was once projected for a $170 million contract, then it's an absolute steal. And that's the upside here. It's not just about what he is today. It's about what he can still become in the right setting. The Yankees aren't asking for a miracle. They're betting on a bounce back from a guy who's shown he can hit in the big leagues and who's still young enough to improve. That's a smart gamble. Meanwhile, for the Phillies, they're getting something too. Hamilton might slide right into their bullpen and give them some consistency, especially if he cleans up the run prevention issue. Pereira, if he finds the right coaching and opportunity, could very well end up patrolling a corner outfield spot in Philly before long. And Lagrange, he's a high upside arm who could pop in a couple of years and make the Phillies look like geniuses for targeting him early. It's the kind of trade that has value on both sides, and that's why it's so compelling. It's also a bit of a statement from the Yankees. They're not content with being good. They're not sitting on their record and hoping for the best. They see the window open right now, and they're making moves that show they're serious about maximizing it. In a season where the AL looks wide open and anything can happen come October, these are the kinds of tweaks that can be the difference between getting bounced in the wild card round or making a deep run. Fans have been clamoring for some sort of move at third base. And while this might not have the same sizzle as trading for a superstar, it might end up being the smarter play. You're not mortgaging the future. You're not giving up Volpe or Dominguez or any other crown jewel. Arms. You're dealing from surplus and you're getting back a guy who fits what you need, both in terms of position and handedness at the plate. And maybe most importantly, you're building a team with fewer question marks. In baseball, that matters more than people realize. A lineup that doesn't have obvious weak spots wears down pitching staffs. A defense that doesn't leak runs gives your starters more confidence to attack hitters. A third baseman who can field cleanly and keep the line moving at the plate. That's the kind of player who helps you win games in September and October. So now we wait to see if this move actually happens. But the fact that it's even being discussed tells you everything you need to know about where the Yankees' heads are at. They're focused, they're aggressive, and they're not going to let injuries or depth concerns dictate how their season unfolds. They're taking control, and that should be a very exciting thought for Yankee fans everywhere. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. Whispers are swirling around Yankee Stadium after Cody Bellinger, the former Dodgers star, dropped a surprising hint that there might be a player contaminating the New York Yankees clubhouse atmosphere. While Bellinger didn't specify names or details, his cryptic comment has quickly become a hot topic among fans and analysts alike, sparking speculation about what could be unfolding behind the scenes of one of baseball's most storied franchises. Bellinger's rumor came during a recent interview where he was asked about the current state of the Yankees. His choice of words, contaminating the team, implies more than just a few bad vibes. It suggests that one player might be negatively affecting team chemistry or morale, a crucial element for success in such a pressure cooker environment as New York. Given the Yankees' high expectations and the scrutiny players face daily, the possibility of internal conflict is enough to fuel rumors across social media and sports networks. The Yankees have had their share of clubhouse stories over the years, with high-profile personalities sometimes clashing behind closed doors. This new whisper from Bellinger adds another layer of intrigue, especially since it comes from someone with first-hand MLB experience. Fans are now left wondering if this contamination relates to poor attitude, lack of effort, or even off-field distractions that might be undermining the team's focus during the crucial stretch of the season. No official response has come from the Yankees organization, leaving the rumor mill to run wild. Some speculate that the player in question could be a recent acquisition struggling to fit in, while others believe it might be a veteran whose leadership has waned. The ambiguity keeps everyone guessing and analyzing every interaction captured. On and off the field, the timing couldn't be more dramatic, as the Yankees are in a competitive race where team unity can make or break their postseason aspirations. It's important to note that rumors in baseball aren't new, and often they swirl without substantial proof. Yet, when a player of Bellinger's caliber and reputation hints at trouble, it gains more weight. Whether this contamination is real or just a misunderstood comment remains to be seen, but it undoubtedly has shaken up the chatter around the Yankees. For now, fans and insiders will be watching closely for any signs of disruption or drama unfolding within the team. The big question remains: who is the player reportedly causing this turmoil? And what impact will it have on the Yankees' campaign? Until answers surface, the buzz around Bellinger's statement will continue to fuel debates and speculation, keeping the New York Yankees under an intense microscope. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.